No, Erev Tov, and we're here with the Dvar Malchus, the weekly Dvar Malchus here in the hard copy. We're on page 20, and in the PDF file, we're on page 4. Okay, and we're at clause or ois dalid, and the Rebbe comes and says we're doing Parshas Tzav, the continuation of Parshas Tzav as our order is going from the beginning of the Dvar Malchus. We began from Elul Nun Aleph, and from the beginning of Nun Aleph, and we're now in Tzav Nun Beis. And the Rebbe says as follows: "V'yuvan zel yedei bir teichen ha'inyan v'achidush demeshe," and this will be understood through the explanation and the clarification of the contents of the concept of and the novelty of Moshe. Shehu b'dugmas hachidush shel inyan ha'geula, and this is an example of the novelty of the concept of the redemption of the geula. And therefore, the redemption comes specifically through Moshe Rabbeinu. As is expressed in the book of Psalms, in chapter 90, chapter Tzadik, that we begin to say in these days, because this is the Rebbe's, it was the Rebbe's capital for the Rebbe's birthday. This chapter begins with the words, a prayer to Moshe, Ish HaElokim, the man of God. And the chapter ends, Vihi Nayam Hashem Elokeinu, and the bliss, the goodness of Hashem, our Hashem. May it be that it should aleinu, may it be upon us. Umaisiyadenu kainanu aleinu, and the actions of our hands should stand erect. In other words, that everything that we do should our goals should be fulfilled. Aleinu, upon us. Umaisiyadenu kainaneu, and the actions of our hands should be erect, should be established, should have a continuity. Mizmar zeh beilet mimiuchad bechidush. This hymn, this chapter of Tillim, stands out especially with its novelty. Shehu nemar al yedei Moshe Rabbeinu, for it was said by Moshe Rabbeinu. Tefillah Moshe, as it testifies, the beginning says the prayer to Moshe, unto Moshe. Harishon mi ben echad asar mizmarim chulu, the first from among the 11 hymns or chapters of Tillim, mikan ad leDavid mizmar, from here until leDavid mizmar, sheMoshe amaram, that Moshe Rabbeinu himself said originally. Shemizeh muvan, and from this it's understood, Shemizmar zeh, that this hymn mevates hateichen shel avedas upeulas Moshe, it expresses the contents and the service of the actions of Moshe al yedei tefilosei, through his prayer, koilel, and this also includes peulosei bivnei Yisrael uva'elam, his actions as they relate to the children of Israel, and as they relate to the entire world, the entire creation. And as our rabbis of blessed memory say, that when we say that may it be that the bliss of Hashem, our Hashem, should be upon us, etc., Siyum Mizmar Zeh, which is the end of this chapter, Hu habracha, this is the blessing, v'hatfila, and the prayer, shel Moshe, of Moshe, b'kesher im hashras hashchina b'mishkan, in regard to the factor of having the divine presence reign in the tabernacle. Omar, as it states, Omar Lam Yehi Rotzen, he said, Moshe Rabbeinu, said to them, to the entire Jewish nation, Yehi Rotzen, may it be Hashem's will, Shetisha Shechina b'masi yadechem, that the divine presence should reign through the acts of your hands. And may it be may the bliss of Hashem be upon Hashem, our Hashem, be upon us. Dehainu, in other words, shedafka tfilos Moshe po'ala, that it's specifically the prayer of Moshe that brought about as ashros ashchina, the reigning of the divine presence b'mishkan, in the tabernacle. And it was not only drawn down and revealed in the tabernacle, but it was revealed in a manner of koinena aleinu. What does this mean? Bikvius, on a permanent basis. Leder vader, for generation after generation. Ad kfi shezeh b'shleimus b'veis hamikdash hashlishi, until it, as it will be in its most complete manner in the third Beis Hamikdash, Kediver Chachamenu Zal, as the words of our rabbis of blessed memory, al pasuk, on the verse, She'umaise yodenu kinaneu, that the actions of our hands should be permanent. Mechuvan al Beis Hamikdash hashlishi. This is intended to, and it connotates the third Beis Hamikdash, of which the Holy One, blessed be He, says, "La'osid lavei." In the future, Ani evnei, say, I, Hashem says, will build the Beis Hamikdash, umasher shchinasi b'seichei, and I will have my divine presence reign within it. Ve'enei chorev la'elam, and it will never be destroyed for eternity. No. Ois hey ve'abir bazeh, and the clarification in regard to what we just explained. Ubehagdim diuk bekefel aloshen, and with the introduction of going into the detailed wording, and seemingly doubled over wording, ha'inyan, and the concept betchilas hamizmer uvesiyumei, at the beginning of the chapter of the hymn and at the end of the chapter. Ma'utam akefel, what is the reason of the doubling over, the repetition? Tefillah leMoshe, a prayer unto Moshe, ve'achar kach, and afterwards, To'aro, giving his giving his To'ar, Ish HaElokim, the word, the expression that actually is talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, the man of Hashem, the man of God. It seems to be doubled over. We're talking about the same person, Moshe Rabbeinu. Val derech zeh, and similarly, B'siyum HaMizmer, at the end of the hymn, V'hi neyam Hashem Elokeinu aleinu, and may it be Hashem's bliss, our Hashem's bliss upon us. U'maisi yodeinu keinu aleinu, and the acts of our hands should be permanent upon us. V'achar kach, and afterwards, Pam shniya, a second time. U'maisi yodeinu keinu, and the acts of our hands should be permanent. Why is it that the beginning and the end of the chapter is we find words that are doubled over, repetitions? And we must say one of the explanations in this, in order to bring about the drawing down and the revelation of Hashemliness below, in a manner of permanency, I will dwell within them, in a manner that It will be a permanent. It will be permanent. Hashem's divine spirit will be permanently reigning upon us. Nidroshim shnei inyanim shnei ktsoves. There is the demand for two concepts and two polarities. V'chiburam yachad, and the fusing of these polarities together. Aleph, first of all, a strength, a power that is beyond the regular behavior, the regular course of nature. This course of nature of the world, that the power of nature has the ability to be able to contain the revelation of Hashemliness in the world, which is not actually revealed in the world, world which comes from the root word in Hebrew of hiddenness, concealment, mitzad atzmai, as it is on its own. In other words, there is a need for a special empowerment to the creation in order to go and to be able to have the revelation of Hashemliness in the creation, without the creation being null, going back to being in a state of being null and void. To the extent that it changes the world, that the world should be a vessel for the revelation of Hashemliness. Not only that Hashem should be contained within the channels of nature, but Hashem should be revealed later in the world, in the creation, in the anhoga, the behavior of nature. And especially, says the Rebbe, when it's in a manner of permanency and eternity, right? Something that will be permanent and eternal, that takes even greater, so to speak, of a empowerment to the mundane world. For this, there is demanded a special power, special strength. For as far as the boundaries of the world are concerned, that is made up of changes, which is zman. We're talking about time. Time changes. Mishtanim kol hanivroim. So also the creatures in the creation are also changing on a constant basis. Behemshech hazman, with the continuation of time, ad shekol hayve nifsad, that to the extent that everything that is here at the present loses its existence with time. Base, and second of all, this power, this strength that we're talking about, it needs to descend and it needs to engarm itself to the extent that it will be on a relative basis to the boundaries of the material world. Kayadua, as known, that which comes to sift and to give energy, has to engarm itself within the garments of the mizbarer, that which is being sifted, or that which is being given energy to exist. Shedafka as, for it is specifically then, then this power has the power to go and to do from it, that which is being sifted from the material world, kli, a vessel, mokim kavua, a permanent place, lekabel b'pnimius, in order to receive in its inner essence, es hagilui, the revelation. Masha Einken, and this is as opposed to imagilui hu shaloi be'erech lamekabel, if the revelation is with no relativity to the receiver, to the recipient, it's way, way high and beyond. Then the energy that is being drawn down and revealed will not stay there down here on a permanent basis. Ella be'ofen makif, but only in a manner that it will be makif. It'll be it'll be per se encompassing the chayetze b'zeh and the similar to this. Ad shebemeshech hazman yochol listalek, until the point where during a period of time, this energy might leave the material world. Such a thing was happen. It occurred where? At the giving of the Torah. At the giving of the Torah, there was a great revelation of godliness. Hashem revealed himself to the entire Jewish nation at Har Sinai, at the foot of the Mount Sinai. And at that time, everything was batel, everything was nullified. Everything managed, because of the empowerment that Hashem gave the material world, everything remained in its material state, but it was all elevated and sanctified. What happened after the revelation at Sinai? After the revelation of Hashem at Har Sinai, everything went back to to how it was. Everything returned to be mundane. Everything returned to be the regular physical state that it was before. Why? Because there was a great and grand revelation of Hashemliness in the world. But since it was such a great revelation, when it stopped, so it didn't remain here on a permanent basis. And this is what we're talking about. When we're talking about something that will be permanent, something that will be forever and ever, for all eternity, then the light or the revelation that is drawn down has to be on a relative basis to that which it is being revealed to. In other words, the mundane and physical world. And this is what we're talking about in this psalm of Tefillah L'Moshe. The continuation, Be'ezus Hashem, hopefully we'll have next week. Yechi Adoneinu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach L'Olam Voed. May we have the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach with the immediate triumph of our soldiers and all the security forces all over the world in this terrible war that we're fighting, and all the injured, they should all be healed immediately, and all those that are still in captivity, the hostages, they should all be returned teichef umiyad mamish, immediately now, mitoch simcha v'tuv levav, in a matter of happiness and joy. Everyone should be 100% healthy, beramacha varehem v'shasagi in their 248 limbs and 365 sinews, and should be teichef umiyad, immediately mamish, with the revelation of the Rebbe Shlitah Melech HaMoshiach. Yechi Adoneinu Moreinu v'Rabbeinu HaMelech HaMoshiach Chai v'Kayam L'Olam Voed. Aguten.